Whatever fear you have, you can absolutely make yourself fearless. I'll explain how. Welcome to Tujengane na Pamela. Karibuni sana. My name is Pamela. Welcome. So, growing up for me, I grew up with so much fear. Yeah. Nilikuwa nina uoga, nilikuwa ni mwoga, niko afraid. I had so much fear that you can feel it, like you can touch it. And it came from different sources, of which I'm not going to dwell into today, but the fear was so uncomfortable. It was so unwanted. You can feel it. Like even now, I remember how I was feeling. I remember how I was. I remember how timid I was. I remember how I was walking. I remember how my heart was always pounding. I remember how unease I felt. And it was so unwanted, but it felt like it was me. It was part of me. Like, this is me. And I believed everything that fear was telling me. And so it carried on for a while. I wanted to shake it off, but yet I couldn't shake it off. Again, as I said, because it felt like part of me. And so time went on, and then I moved countries. It became worse because nilikuwa kwenye shule ambayo tuna speak Swahili, and then I moved to a school ambayo tunaongea Kiingereza. It became double. I became shy, more shy. I became timid. I became like the one who would always sit at the back of the class, and nilikuwa sitaki mwalimu anione. It's like aangalie lakini ni kama hanioni. And then one day, this English teacher asks me to read in front of the class. Oh my goodness. Nilitaka the ground a break and swallow. Nilikuwa na sweat. Nilikuwa nina tremble. Kwa sababu, again, nilikuwa sipendi how I sounded. And nilikuwa naangalia wanafunzi wengine, they were so confident in themselves. And it felt like they were meant for spotlight. Like, and then I'm here. Like, you want me to read? Anyway, I read. And after reading, when I was done, mwalimu akaniambia, well done. To be honest, it felt like something that I was never told before. Well done. It did something to me, and I am grateful for that till today. And so, and then I remember another person that I used to admire, a lady, older lady. You know how when you are young, kuna watu tu ambao unawa admire. I think many people are like that. Anyway, and so I met this lady, nikamsalimia, shikamo, marahaba, ujambo, sijambo. And then I think it was only God. Akaniambia kwamba, Pamela, wewe ni mtoto mzuri, you are smart, you are beautiful, and akaniambia, be comfortable in your own skin. Believe in what you are. You can do it. You can do anything you set your mind to. I was never affirmed like that before. Maybe because it was the lady that I don't know, but I was never affirmed like that before. And so I chose to believe her. And unajua nakaa hapa, usually I think, and I'm like, I could have chosen not to believe her because I used to tell myself all the negativity. So I could have chosen to say, huyo naye ananiambia tu si kweli, but I chose to believe, and I thank God, and I believe it was God. And so it was a turning point for me because from then, I would always remember her and my teacher who told me, well done. So I would move with that, like, well done, Pam, you can do it. You are meant to something. And so slowly, I started speaking up in classes. Slowly, I would lift my hand and answer questions. And thank God for my teachers, because I think somehow they can tell in a class who is confident, yupi ni mwongeaji zaidi, yupi anafaulu zaidi. And so anytime I would raise my hand, they will make sure they chose me. Different subjects, different teachers, kwa sababu ilikuwa ni high school. And I thank God for my teachers. They supported me by choosing, like whenever kinyosha mkono, wananichagua. And so I started opening up. I started speaking to students who I thought they were so cool, and they would respond back to me. I started making more friends because I remember the first few months, probably let's say 6 months or even up to a year, I had really few friends. But then I started building up friendships because of what this lady told me, that I am smart enough, that I can do it. And so now I understand fear. Don't allow it to just sit on it. And fear doesn't disappear by you sitting. Confidence comes by you moving in fear anyway. Because I would push myself to speak to people, even though I was trembling. I would talk in classes, even though my English was so wrong. And trust me, at that time, I remember when I was scared, it's not as if I was dumb. I was not dumb. It's just fear used to tell me you'll speak the wrong English. And I wasn't weak or anything. It's just that fear used to tell me you will embarrass yourself if you join in sports or PE lessons and you join in fully, you will embarrass yourself. That's what fear used to tell me. But then after that, of course, I was not good in sports, but I will join in anyway. And that helped me building confidence. So confidence doesn't come by you sitting. You just have to do it anyway. Do it with fear. And I would answer questions. I would speak the wrong English, as I used to say, with fear. But that's how I built my confidence. And then the more turning points came when I was asked to speak in a school assembly. That changed everything for me. And I said yes. So I would have said no, like I would have bowed down to fear and say no, but I said yes anyway. So I went back home, told my dad, he helped me prepare the speech to speak in front of the whole class, of the whole school, not class, school. And so the day came, my dad helped me prepare the speech. The day came, I presented it in front of the whole school. And after that, people loved it, clapped, and I was happy because I was proud of myself. Like I did it, I read it, and I explained myself. The speech was about encouraging people. You have to inspire or encourage and stuff like that. And then later on, different teachers came to me and said like they were impressed by it. And so obviously that did something to me. And so what really made me understand about fear and about confidence is that my worth does not come from other people. My worth doesn't come from what people are telling me, even though it's good when people affirm you. But what if people tell you negative? It does not come from that, isn't it? So my worth comes from what I'm telling myself. What story am I telling myself? Confidence comes from what you are believing in yourself. What are you telling yourself? If you're telling yourself negative stuff, like you'll amount to nothing, you're not smart enough, you're not clever enough, and of course fear will stay. But if you're telling yourself, I can do it, I am smart, I can move, I'm amounting to something, I can speak up, I'm beautiful, I am handsome, it's what you're telling yourself that confidence grows. And sometimes it's so unfortunate. Some people, they have families or friends or even teachers or even colleagues or even bosses telling them negativity about them. And you choose to believe that. Do not believe that. Kwa sababu, you're not here by accident. Na especially kama unamwamini Mungu. Mungu hajaumba kusema kwamba namuumba huyu yule akawe mbaya, namuumba huyu yule akawe mzuri. Mungu amemuumba everybody for a purpose, and that purpose is beautiful kwa sababu Mungu always has good thoughts for us. Na anapokuwa anatu create, we are the chosen one. Kwa sababu it could have been anybody, but it's you. You have a purpose. Una makusudi kabisa ambayo Mungu anakuwa amekuwekea. And if it's that, then kuna spirit of fear, or sometimes watu tu around us wanakuwa wanataka kuharibu maisha yetu. We are not supposed to bow down to that. So just remember, you are here for a purpose, and it's a good purpose, not a bad purpose. And you can do it. And Mungu ana makusudi nawe, ndio maana uko hapa. Na katika hicho kitu ambacho unajua kabisa deep down umewekewa kukifanya, just trust me, you can do it. You just need to move with fear, because the thing about fear, it doesn't disappear. And you can never wait for confidence to come. Confidence comes only when you decide to move in fear anyway. So when I was moving, like I'm using this example kwa sababu I remember it like yesterday, and it was so, like I said before, the fear I had nilivyokuwa form 1, form 2, form 1 especially, ilikuwa so huge, so tangible. I remember it. Even in my late primary years, I remember how timid I was. And so that transition, I remember it till today. Like it can never go away because it was a turning point for me. And after the speech, after the teacher telling me that, after that lady affirming me, it gave me so much confidence. It made me move in areas or to do things ambavyo I would have never have dreamt. I moved on to before kuapply sasa for uni. I had that gap whereby nilifanya vitu kwa sababu ya what I was telling myself. Nilienda nika apply job after job na nilikuwa ninapata kazi kirahisi. I remember mpaka my parents used to go like, "What?" Kwa sababu of that what I was telling myself, and haikuja tu kwangu, ni kwa sababu ya wale watu ambao walichoose kuniambia na kuniaffirm. Nilienda nikafanya matangazo ya aina mbalimbali, si moja, si mbili, si tatu, in the space of one year or 1.5 years. Tanzania nilifanya matangazo mpaka nikafanya tangazo, nilisafirishwa nikaenda nje ya nchi kwenda kufanya tangazo la video kwa sababu tu ya what I was telling myself kwamba I can do it, kwamba kuna hii kazi naenda kuiapply, I want to do it because of what I was telling myself. Now sasa nikakaa hapa nikasema kwamba I don't feel fear anymore. Fear will always be there. At times it's higher than other times. At seasons inaweza kawa fear ni more kuliko another season, but what do I do when I feel that fear is what matters. I don't bow to it anymore. I don't trust it anymore. I move anyway. Ninakuwa ninajaribu kuangalia ni nini najiambia at that season, and then I decide to move anyway. Now, let me encourage you. If it's you, you're feeling like you are nothing, you feel like you have tried things, you feel like you're defeated, you feel like maybe I am not beautiful, or it's because of who's telling you or you yourself. I don't know. Whenever and whatever fear is coming from, I am telling you, choose what you're telling yourself. It's good when somebody else affirms you, but if there's nobody affirming you, talk to yourself. It matters what you tell yourself. Hiyo ndo tutaweza kufuel you to move into the spaces you are supposed to move. Kwa sababu you're never meant to live your life under the table. Like you're never meant to dim your light. Shine your light. I'm encouraging you to move in fear anyway. Become fearless. And all these people that you see on the spotlight, if you get a chance to hear their interviews, many of them have said before they step into the stages, they feel the fear, but they move in fear anyway. So confidence is not the absence of fear. It is choosing to move in spite of that fear anyway. So just remember, confidence doesn't come when you're sitting. Fear doesn't disappear. Fear will always be there, but it's what you're telling yourself and choosing to move anyway. And for us who are older people, let us encourage these young ones. Let's plant a seed to these children, to these teenagers, by telling them they are amounting to something. They are something greater than themselves. They are powerful, they are beautiful, they are handsome, because fear has a way of crippling people, and especially the young ones. So if you can start small, just plant a seed, 1 or 2 words. You have no idea what changes you can make to that young one. I always thank this teacher, I always thank this lady who told me that I am smart enough, that I am amounting to something, that I can do anything. Even me sitting here with my few subscribers, with the way I speak, there is fear, but I am choosing to move anyway because I feel like I have something to offer. And if it blesses 1 or 2 people, then I feel like I'm operating in my full potential, in what I've been called to do, to encourage, to uplift. And when I'm here talking, I am talking the things that I have seen bring fruits to my life. I've seen results and I want to give back. So, with my few subscribers, with my few likes, it doesn't matter, but I'm just moving in fear anyway. And that's what brings me confidence. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. I want to tell you, you are smart, you are enough, you are capable, you can do anything you set your mind to. Ignore the fear and move anyway. You are something very, very special. Until next time, take care of yourself. Bye. Mwah.